What's going on, Aces? Welcome back to the channel. I hope that you guys are having a marvelous Wednesday evening. So, Pastor Jamal Bryant, he has responded to Ray J. As we know, Ray J has been in the news cycle pretty heavily the past couple days. I made a video. You guys go check that out about what Ray J was saying. Somebody was trying to take him out the game. Then he went off on Pastor Jamal. So let's get into this response. It says, according to the singer and serial entrepreneur, as you guys remember from what Ray J was saying, he sat down with Pastor Jamal. He said the interview was not cleared, which that doesn't make sense to me. If you're going to sit down with someone and do an interview, especially for a podcast, you should know that they're going to make that public. But I'll continue. He said that he threatened, of course, Pastor Jamal Bryant, he threatened to snatch somebody off the pulpit if the interview ever sees the light of day. Again, here's my thing before I even finish this article. Ray J, you grew up with Brandy. If y'all remember the best friend video that she did, and Ray J was dancing in the video, all in the videos dancing all. No. But he was there. I used to love that song. She's singing about her little brother, her best friend. Now, you have been in the spotlight since you were a teen, just like your sister, right? He was acting on Moesha, all types of things. So my question is, I know that their mother she ran that ship like the dang on Marines, okay? Brandy used to complain way back that she couldn't show her belly button. That was big way back in the day. I'm dating myself a little bit, but I'm a millennial, so y'all got to work with your girl. But yeah, she wasn't allowed to show her belly button. Now that I'm older, I'm like, okay, your mom was right to stand 10 toes down, and she didn't want you out here, sending the wrong message and having a crop top. But back then I was a kid. I'm younger than Brandy. And I was like, why is she so, that's cute. Why wouldn't she let her show her belly button? But it's relevant to Ray J because he grew up in that household. Like he grew up, 2-parent household. Brandy, they're both in the limelight. They're both media trained, right? He grew up in this business, or at least, by his sister's side. So my question is, why wouldn't you know now? Is Ray J in his 30s, 40s? I know Brandy's in her 40s. But why wouldn't you know by now that if you sit down with any interviewer, right? I don't care if it's Jamal Bryant or, Gayle King, don't have a meltdown like R. Kelly did, have some kind of media training. And I would think after being in the entertainment industry, or at least around it for the past, 25 plus years, you would have some kind of media training to know when you sit down for an interview, you don't say anything that you don't want the public to hear. Anyway, let's continue. So Jamal Bryant took to his Instagram with a post defending his podcast integrity, not the integrity of the podcast. and he's still offering positive words to Ray J. He says, quote, "I was so grateful to recently interview one of the few mavericks of this generation," and he adds Ray J, "who has been more than impactful in many different fields. It was both surprising and disheartening to wake up to unfounded threats and baseless accusations directed at me. As part of our commitment to honest dialogue, we ensured that specific comments with potential legal ramifications were edited out of the interview to safeguard the best interest of a brother beloved." Ray J, what did you say? See, now it's piquing my interest because I'm like, so you were implicating yourself legally? That's crazy for you to be this seasoned. Like, you and your sister are vets in this game. There is no way that I would not think that, the media training that Sonia and that Brandy, she's drilled into Brandy, but that Brandy has received, that he didn't pick some of that up on the sidelines being on those sets all those years and in the entertainment industry all those years. That is ridiculous. I'm like, so he must have implicated himself or said something that had some kind of legal ramifications. That's wild. Um, He says, our Jamal Bryant podcast, the mission is to foster authentic and constructive conversations with thought leaders, and this episode was no exception. We are a live two-tape production that ordinarily makes no edits. However, in the spirit of brotherhood, it was nixed with the agreement that no other adjustments would be made as the Jamal Bryant podcast, let's be clear, endeavors to be earnest and transparent on every episode. Though private agreements have now been brought to the public eye, I refuse to be embroiled in a battle that demeans our community and all that I stand for. I love my brother unconditionally, and I stand on my agreed promise. Grace and peace to you all. Okay, so there you have it. He says, yeah, Ray J blasted Brian, as you guys remember, and his team Tuesday, November 12th, urging him not to play their interview or else. And I'm thinking to myself, Ray J, this is on you. Like, I don't understand why he's threatening, Pastor Bryant when there's no way that you would, and this is just my rationale, this is my thinking, that you would want to sit down for an interview, especially a live interview, right? A live taping where they make no edits, as Pastor Jamal Bryant just said in that statement, and get caught up on some legal ramifications. Like, you implicated yourself. One of the things that we still have in this country, hopefully, is the Fifth Amendment by the Constitution. As of, November 13th, ain't no telling what they're going to do. But anyway, as a United States citizen, sir, you have the right to not implicate yourself legally. And I'm like, there's no way. I'm thinking there's no way Ray J got on a live podcast and says something that would implicate himself and have legal ramifications. Ray J, what is going on? Somebody check on Ray J. Like, now that I'm thinking more about it, it's really not funny. I was only laughing at the Fifth Amendment and how everything is upside down, topsy-turvy right now in the country. But on some real life stuff, that makes me sad because that means that lets me know that there's something deeper going on, right? Like, I couldn't imagine somebody going on, let's say, like The View, or, people have gone on The View, which is, live ABC, like Kelly Osbourne, for instance, right? And then she stuck her foot in her mouth. But I can't think of somebody going on a live show and implicating themselves legally or saying something that had legal ramifications. People, will say ridiculous things like when Io, when she said, that she didn't think that J-Lo was a talented singer. She thought she was a great actress. And you know what? I have to agree with that. I think J-Lo is a great dancer, and I think that she's a great actress. But as far as the singing is concerned, like Mariah Carey said, I don't know her. Her singing is not the best, but she makes up for it in other areas. However, Io, they were poking fun of her, and they even put them together on Saturday Night Live because it was funny. But I can't think of something that somebody would implicate themselves legally on a podcast or any interview. Sitting down with any reporter. If anything, if there's a question that celebrities tend to not feel comfortable answering, they'll say, no comment, or I don't feel comfortable answering that question. Something like that. I don't know. what your rationale or your reasoning would be to get on a live podcast and say something that would get yourself caught up legally. That's crazy. So it says, as for the publication, Pastor Bryant and Ray J's interview has not yet aired. See, now I want to hear it. Like before, I don't know. I feel like in some of the comments that I read, some people were saying that he should just toss the whole thing. But now, after all this hype, it's like, well, you guys have, hyped it up so much that I'm really curious. I probably wouldn't even have listened to it, to be honest, if it wasn't so much hype around it. But you can't buy this type of publicity, because they keep going back and forth. And it's like, what, you said something that serious that you would threaten, Pastor Bryant over? That's crazy. And then for him to put out a statement saying that, well, we typically don't edit it, but I'll do so in the spirit of brotherhood. I'm thinking like, okay, well, what happened? Now, now I'm nosy and I want to know. Okay, well, anyway, I just wanted to bring you guys that response because, like I said, I'm curious to find out what the big deal was. And maybe, who knows, maybe we'll never know. Maybe, Pastor, Jamal Bryant will scrap it or edit it like he said. But at the same time, curious minds want to know. I hope it wasn't anything too salacious, but I hope that Ray J learns from this. And next time he decides to sit down with any type of interview, or whether it's a podcast or on the red carpet, or, any type of media, to be really careful with your words. I don't know what he was thinking. And again, maybe he can go back to the drawing board or sit down. Hopefully him and Brandy, can reconcile, or even talk to his parents. Because, again, Sonia, she was running a tight ship with Brandy. I don't know. I don't know what to say, except I hope Ray J can, stop threatening people and get somewhere and, just kind of chill for a while. Because he's been in this news cycle for, pretty heavy these past few weeks. So I'm hoping that he can settle down. But whether or not Pastor Brian decides to air the interview, or if we ever find out what happened, I will definitely keep you guys updated. So let me know your thoughts. Please be sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and I will talk with you in the next one. Take care, Aces. Bye.